A lot of the visceral ligaments are actually remnants of embryonic foldings. A lot of them are remnants of embryonic foldings. So as we are developing in utero and we are creating cavities, which we do, we start to fold the cavities, and the cavities fall within themselves. So if I've got my hands in this plastic, translucent plastic bag, you can see my hands are together inside the same container. If I then fold the bag within the bag, my hands now are touching through this ethereal tissue, and the tissue between them creates a relationship. This is what happens with visceral fascia. The organs are wrapped around in connective tissue, aureolar connective tissue, that as it has folded on itself, it creates a relationship of a layer within a layer. Those layers tend to have different names, but a little bit like within the epimysium and perimysium and endomysium, the layers here are called the visceral layer, which is the layer that is closest to the organ. Let's say this hand here is the organ. And then the parietal layer, which will be the layer that is coming to dive over the visceral layer. Now, it is an illusion to say that that's parietal and that's visceral, because it's all part of one. And in between those layers, we do find serous fluid. Serous fluid being a type of substance that is quite oily and creates a relationship of connection and sliding, very different to the structures between the superficial fascia and the deep fascia, or the deep fascia within the deep fascia. If we lifted those other structures, we would have seen that there are strands of collagen connecting them. Within those two layers of the parietal and the visceral fascia, it is the serous fluid that is keeping them connected. They are not adhered in any way. There aren't collagenous columns that connect one to the other. So if two very ethereal layers meet, as you can see, they separate. But if we add a little bit of serous fluid to it, and I've got here a bottle of oil. You guys following me? Is this interesting? I know, I feel like Harry Potter. And I'm adding here a little bit of oil, serous substance. And this little bit of oil, as I now put the structures back together, and you can see how now, can you see that? Yeah, there's two layers of, but I can't actually hold only one of them, and they are connected. If I separate them, I can separate them and create two layers, but actually they are connected. And they are connected in a way in which they can glide on one another. So this is much more of a real sliding than the superficial fascia sliding on the deep fascia was.